The book is about peak performance aging. And one of the things that came out of adult development, right, which is the field of how do we grow up. And this was mostly George Valiant's work, who was the last caretaker of the Harvard. There are two studies in Boston, 100-year studies of adult development. One was done on Harvard graduates, and one was done, they went, oh, wow, those are all rich Harvard graduates, so let's redo it on just working class Boston folks. George ended up as the last caretaker of that information, and one of the things he discovered is there are gateways in adult development, right? There's all kinds of really neat stuff that we've learned, that like new kinds of intelligence and wisdom and empathy and creativity that come online in your 50s, but only if you've passed through these thresholds. And the first one is the thresholds of identity by age 30. And by 40, it's match fit, which is an economics term for there's a tight fit between who you are and your strengths and your values and how you like to live and what you do for a living or what you do with the bulk of your time. But by 50, it's forgiveness. You have to forgive those folks who have done you wrong and forgive yourself. And most of that stuff I had worked through, but as I didn't get along with the jocks as a kid, and I lost a lot of fights over a long period of time, and that never really, like it just wasn't, it was hard to put down. It never quite went away. And one of the reasons I came up with this crazy park skiing quest was maybe if I tried to turn myself into one of the jocks, if I really like walked a mile in their moccasins kind of thing, maybe that, I didn't have any other ideas. Right? I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but nothing else has worked. Let's try this.
That's dicey territory to start talking about how you were picked on as a kid and then seeing if it works. But it made, to me, all the sense in the world.
I also wanted to write a book about shit that men deal with all the time and don't ever talk about.
Right.
And especially our generation, we're the same age, where like,
you don't complain. You don't cry.
And I grew up in a world where like men didn't have emotions at all. The most rebellious thing in the world you could be.
My joke is that
give somebody a hug in the 70s and 80s as a man. Give another man a hug. Yeah. Like
my father always considered therapy. He talked to his buddy who was seeing a therapist. He goes, he's seeing a fucking therapist. He needs therapy. Like if I ever cried, are you kidding? You'd be like, what are you, a leftist? What the fuck's going on?
Exactly. So you grew up in this world where you couldn't have any of those things. It was just a way to see if I could settle that score. But I really wanted to talk about a lot of the heavy, like in a fun way. I wanted to talk about some of the shame issues and like just some of the masculinity shit that men carry around. And nobody, especially today, you really can't talk, because the last thing anyone wants to hear is a man talking about like male.
You guys have had your time. Shut up.
Like shut the fuck up.
You don't matter.
And that's fair. Totally.
Not
like,
really, but okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fair, meaning you get to have your opinion.
It may be fair, but what I think the book shows is that there's a real vulnerability in the book. It's not just about being
naked.
Oh, there we go. Now,
there we go.
You guys wanted to see it. We gave it to you. Kotler's torso. Kotler's fucking torso. Okay? Broken, scarred, battered, but still shredded. You need a tan like me.
Thank
I
you.
like my friends like, look, you look yellow. I'm like, fuck off. But you
I write fucking books for a living. What do you think
no,
happens?
you do more. You fucking trick ski. You park ski.